My name is Joseph Richert, Secretary Treasurer of SEIU Local 73. I'm here today to talk a little bit about my experience to Cuba. Went to Cuba last May with building relations with Cuban labor. It was a group of unionists that went to Cuba for the May Day celebration. We spent 12 days in Cuba, and it was quite the experience. It was really an eye-opening experience for me. All the negative things that I've heard about Cuba, all of the bad things that we've heard about Cuba over the years of growing up. And I found it to be totally opposite and totally untrue. The people of Cuba are fantastic. The little bit that they had, they were willing to share. They were very open, very appreciative of the things that we have done as trade unionists, and it's an important thing for me. And I think for all of us that attended, we took supplies, we took medical things that they couldn't get because of the embargo and because of the uh, the Cuban country being put on the state sponsor of terrorism. So basically, everything is dried up. They can't get day-to-day necessities that they need. As we went around the country, we were in both Havana and we went to Santiago, and it was really difficult just to buy daily necessities or to see daily necessities. Simple things, heart pacemakers, braille machines. These were all things that they can't get. That were just it was amazing to me that they're 90 miles off the coast of Florida, and yet they can't find these day-to-day things. Women products. I mean, it was just the list goes on and on of the things that we took in suitcases that we were allowed to bring in for humanitarian aid. Um, and it really changed my whole opinion of Cuba. And I'm working really hard now to try and help lift those sanctions and get them off the list of sponsor of terrorism. And as a labor trade unionist person, I believe that we need to help anybody in labor throughout the world to achieve, the common goals that we have here that we take for granted every day, basic necessities. And I was also impressed. The literacy rate is so high. Their doctor to patient ratio is very high. I think it's one of the highest in the world, if I'm not mistaken. They've offered to help in tight situations. They inoculated half of the third world with inoculations, but they ran out of syringes because they couldn't get those. So it's really had an impact on their day-to-day life. And again, all politics aside, I don't know whether communism is good or bad. That's yet to be decided. But everything I saw and everything I witnessed was really good for the people. The embargo has really, really impacted their country, and we need to work together to get that embargo lifted so that they can survive and they can achieve the things that they need to achieve, just like we do that here. And from a labor standpoint, we're all in it together. They're all in unions. They have labor unions, and they negotiate their contracts and their wages and working conditions and have their grievances. So I think we as labor need to stand strong with the Cuban labor and support them in their effort to have a normal life and not to have all these hardships that they're being imposed on by the United States government. So I strongly encourage you to participate and to get involved in helping us lift the embargo and take them off the state sponsor of terrorism so that they can have the same chance and same realities that we have in achieving happiness and a good life.